Alright guys, what is going on? Let's do another video. This is going to be a unpopular topic, but we've got to share the truth. We've got to spread it regardless. The occult is not evil. Again, the occult is not evil. A lot of people are probably going to have a lot of problems with me saying that because everybody's afraid of everything nowadays. They've got people afraid of words. I even know people who are afraid, I shit you not, of pentagrams, 5-pointed stars. I know people who are terrified of certain symbols. I know people who are afraid of unicursal hexagrams. I'll show you guys what one of those looks like on the screen right now because a lot of people don't know what a unicursal, not a universal, but a unicursal hexagram looks like. The 6-pointed star. So the occult, ladies and gentlemen, and just hear me out, the occult simply means that which is hidden. Things that are occult are things that are hidden from your awareness, from your perception, from your understanding. Now, sure, some people who get into the occult do heinous, horrible things. In the same way, ladies and gentlemen, that many people have done horrible things under the banner of Christianity. More people have died under the sword and under the flag of Christianity than any other religion in this world. So it's really strange to me when people say, oh, you use a pentagram, or oh, you use an inverted pentagram, or a Leviathan cross. You must be evil. You must be satanic. Only Jesus can save you. Yet the symbols that your religion uses have been the banner of more bloodshed than any other religion that we know of. Doesn't that sound contradictory? You see, I'm all about truth, I'm all about logic, and I'm all about reasoning. I want to know the truth and nothing but the truth, regardless of how difficult it is for my ego and my mind and my belief systems and my comfort levels to integrate those understandings. I want to know the truth regardless of what it is. All I care for is the truth. That is my religion. My religion is uncovering the lies, uncovering the truth, understanding what's actually going on in this world, understanding who I am and why I'm here. I am not interested in religions that offer me false promises and, require me to have blind faith. No. So the occult, to get back on track, is not evil, folks. And just because some people have done some bad things that were into the occult, that does not mean that the entire ocean or the entire pond is polluted. Just because some drops of poison or oil were added to the entire body of water. Get over it. When you look at the 5-pointed star, folks, or the pentagram, there's nothing evil about it. All it represents is the 4 primary elements: air, water, fire, and earth. And at the top, you have a symbol that represents spirit. That diagram represents how spirit manifests through the four elements that are materializing in everything around us constantly, including in your body. The 4 elements. Now, the 5-pointed star, on a more geometric level, represents certain connections that are made on the Kabbalistic tree of life, which the Kabbalistic tree of life sits inside of the seed of life, which sits inside the flower of life. These geometric symbols are just symbols, and these symbols are monumental. They have a lot of symbolic value because of what they represent. They represent certain pieces, folks, of the geometric grid that holds everything together here in the material realm. Geometry, to a large extent, mathematics, is how light is weaved into material, from spirit to the physical. So again, the pentagram, the 5-pointed star, not an evil symbol. The Baphomet is not an evil symbol. The Leviathan cross is not an evil symbol. The lower, or the inverted pentagram that many quote-unquote wannabe Satanists use as their symbol, that's not evil either. That represents certain connections that are made on the Kabbalistic tree of life that point down towards Malkuth, the earth sphere, on the Kabbalistic tree. That's why the point goes down. Get real. It's amazing how afraid everybody is. And it's amazing to me how confident people are in thinking that they're correct. Like, oh, Jesus has my back. These symbols are evil. Or, oh, you're a Luciferian, or you're this or that because you use some symbols, or you talk about Kundalini. Your religion, your beliefs have you in a box where you're unaware of certain truths, and it was designed that way. They don't want you digging into the occult because they don't want you understanding the mysteries of the human body and the limitless nature of your consciousness. They don't want you dabbling in the arts, the magical arts, because they don't want you waking up out of this trance. They use magic against you to keep you asleep. They keep you in a suspended state of hypnosis. They don't want you discovering through digging through what you shouldn't be looking at, that you have massive amounts of unlimited power. They don't want you realizing that you are basically God, unaware of itself, that you've fallen asleep within a dream within a dream within a dream, and that you're in a suspended state of hypnosis consciousness that resembles a deep sleep. They don't want you accessing the tools that can be used to further your breaking free from the limitations that you've acquired. Hope that makes sense. That was kind of a mouthful. So it's amazing, and I'm just making this video as an observation because I find it very, very interesting, especially when Christians approach me and say that, oh man, I'm praying for you, I hope Jesus saves you. What makes you think that you're saved? I'm over here preaching the truth about Christ, that Christ is the Kundalini energy, it resides within you, and that it is the Holy Spirit, and then when it moves through your spine and gets into the promised land, which is the head, it connects you to God. And that the real true creator, the living God, the hidden God, put this blueprint or this energetic potential, this Kundalini energy within us so that we can re-access the truth through Christ, which is the risen Kundalini. It's just amazing to me how many people think that they've gotten it right because, I picked up my Bible and I felt a certain way and I feel like Jesus saved me, or this, that, and the other. That does not mean that you're living under the banner of truth, folks. I know that certain things, especially when it comes to metaphysical things or the paranormal or the supernatural or religious things, it can feel really good to have something to hold on to because you feel like you've finally found a buoy or a raft or a boat to float on in the middle of this ocean of uncertainty. I know it can feel good. It also gives you a superiority complex, but we should always strive for the truth. And that is something that I've done for as long as I can remember. I don't want to get on here and say that people are wrong for following the typical Antichrist Jesus version that the church promotes. I don't want to get on here and say this, but through revelations that I've had, through my constant digging at the door of wisdom until my bones broke through my finger or my flesh, until there was so much blood on my fingers from clawing at the door of wisdom that I finally accessed Gnosis. I finally achieved something. I've experienced Kundalini, and through these revelations that I've had, I've been shown directly through Christ consciousness that a lot of the things that we're believing as people here in this matrix are control mechanisms. And you can really, once you experience these states of higher consciousness, the Luciferian flame of Gnosis, the Christ consciousness, and Lucifer and Christ are the same thing, folks, and we're going to talk about that in the near future. But once you experience the Christ consciousness or the Kundalini, once you experience more of the electromagnetic spectrum, you gain more access to the truth. And then when you come back down from those experiences and you go into the material realm, folks, you really see firsthand how, let me just roll my windows up. There's always got to be someone walking by and staring at me. You see firsthand, ladies and gentlemen, the mind control in action. You get to see it because you almost become like a glitch in the matrix, so to speak, when you access these higher broadband or bandwidths of consciousness that you're not supposed to experience. Because when you experience Kundalini, you take a taste of that experience, that nectar, back with you once the experience resides. once you come back down into your normal self. Because I've said it once and I'll say it again. Most of us, including myself, I didn't have enough of the mineral reserves and the spiritual maturity and the physical health to be able to handle the electrical charge of Kundalini 24 hours a day, 365. We were designed to be able to do that, but our bodies, more often than not, here in the matrix, we can only handle small amounts of this energy. God comes along and tickles our senses in little doses with this Kundalini and shows us little tastes of the truth. So, where was I going with that? Once you experience these states of consciousness, your energetic configuration is changed entirely. There's no way around this. You're changed forever. You're baptized by the rising fire of the twin serpents. You experience the promised land. And now you come back, ladies and gentlemen. I got people probably hearing me talk about Lucifer and Christ and all this stuff. They probably think I'm crazy. I don't know if you can hear that. But you take pieces of these experiences back down to the material realm with you, and in an energetic state, you're much different now than the people around you, and you agitate a response in them. And this is really when you can see the religious programming and a lot of the fear programming, you guys. When you experience the fear of others. And I'm not judging. I want this world to change. I want us to get rid of all the dogma, because dogma is really holding us back. And the fear of the occult is one of the biggest examples of dogma. Oh, I'm afraid of the pentagram. I'm afraid of, lighting a candle and this and that. Like, is that really what your religion has done for you? Religion, ladies and gentlemen, should motivate you to be fearless. Religion should motivate you to conquer everything that's not right in the world. Religion shouldn't make you afraid of books. Religion shouldn't make you afraid of diagrams. Religion shouldn't instill within your heart fear of symbols. Your religion should drive you to understand what symbols mean, because symbols, ladies and gentlemen, lead to certain things. And geometric symbols that are used in the occult, they represent certain pathways within certain geometric figures that literally create this reality. It's hard to explain. But the unicursal hexagram, the hexagram in general, they represent certain paths within the flower of life, within the Kabbalistic tree of life. It all fits together. And once you start practicing magic, once you get into the ceremonial magic, you'll start to realize through your maturity that as you develop as a magician, you'll realize, folks, that, okay, well, I'm doing these pentagram rituals or these hexagram rituals. What I'm doing is I'm attuning to certain forces that these symbols represent. I'm tapping into the fingerprint of God, so to speak, because God uses geometry and light and sound and magnetics and all this stuff to create this material realm. When you do these pentagram rituals, these hexagram rituals, you're tapping into the power of the flower of life. You're tapping into the power of the Kabbalistic tree of life. And you're invoking those energies into your body and into your mind, which is why when you practice magic properly, you experience altered states of consciousness. So the occult is not evil. Arcane books are not evil. Heretical books are not evil. You just give them credit for being evil, and it controls your life. And it's just amazing how many Christians I know are so afraid of things. It's like, grow up. Honestly, grow up. If your religion is motivating you to be afraid of symbols and dusty books and people like Aleister Crowley, get a grip. I'm not saying that I'm a Crowleyite or a Thelemite or anything like that, but I mean, my God. Like, stop being afraid of everything. That's all I'm trying to say. Stop being afraid of everything. How are you going to conquer yourself when you can't even conquer your fears? Again, how are you going to conquer yourself? How are you going to conquer the matrix? How are you going to break through your limitations when you can't even get past your fear, which is one of your greatest limitations? Fear holds us back. Fear is the most poisonous thing in the world. It's more poisonous than cancer. It's more poisonous than poison. It's the epitome of poison, folks. Fear. Fear gets the best of people, and it motivates people to live their lives in a suboptimal way, unaware of the truth. So, long story short, guys, your religion, if you have a religious practice, should motivate you to seek nothing but wisdom. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is the truth. The only thing that is wisdom in this world is truth. And there's a huge difference between knowledge and wisdom. Because knowledge can be incorrect. In fact, if you look back 100 years, the knowledge of 100 years ago, the scientists and the doctors, they thought things that were considered knowledge were true that we now know are far from true. So the religion should be about the pursuit of truth. And through understanding the truths of the world, the way it works, who you are, what your purpose is here, what Christ is, all of this stuff. That's how you understand or attain wisdom. And through wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, you achieve Gnosis. Religion should be about the attainment of wisdom and Gnosis. Gnosis is wisdom that is received through revelation, through higher states of consciousness that are achieved. That is what the Gnostic religion is about. I am a Gnostic myself. Not agnostic, Gnostic. Gnostic. I am a Gnostic. I seek Gnosis. I seek communion with Source, not just, I don't seek to have blind faith in Source. My faith has limits. And if my faith does not materialize into something that proves what I have faith in, then there's a good chance that you need to change directions. But the thing is that if you do practice Gnosticism, if you play your cards right, your faith, your faith will turn into solidification of truth. It'll turn into wisdom. You will attain Gnosis through Kundalini rising. Peace be with you. Stop being afraid of everything.